Yo, what's up guys, Guido here, back again with another mini bike video. And in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to lubricate your brand new mini bike, lawnmower, whatever that uses a centrifugal clutch. I'm going to show you guys how to go and lubricate this so your clutch lasts a good long time. So if you are riding your mini bike and it kind of wants to die, is making a bell noise or kind of spits and sputters, more than likely that's just because your clutch is dry and it needs to be lubricated, because when I got my mini bike, they usually ship the clutches without any lubrication on them, so they are dry from the factory, which will burn up your clutch super quick, and also your mini bike isn't going to run smooth. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to lubricate your clutch on your mini bike, so let's get into it. Okay, so as you can see, the first thing that you're going to want to do, if it's on a mini bike, or if it's not, you can kind of just skip ahead a little bit so we can get to the part where we're actually lubricating it. But if it's on your mini bike, you're going to want to undo your chain tensioner, which I've already done, just so I can make a little short video on how to lubricate your clutch. But you want to undo the chain tensioner so the chain is super loose. Then you're going to want to undo the little bolt and washer that's holding on your clutch. Whether this is for Predator 212s or any mini bike, there's going to be a little bolt that is holding the clutch on, and once you have gotten that out, the chain will have enough slack where you can pull it off and then take the chain off, and then you'll have your clutch off. So this is where we're at, and we're going to lubricate it right now. Okay, so now what you're going to need to do is you're actually going to have to take the clutch apart. So as you can see right there is a snap ring. So I recommend you guys go ahead and go out and get yourself a good pair of snap ring pliers, because trust me, you guys will probably need these later on to do the same thing with your clutch, or just for any snap rings, I don't know. But I recommend you go out and get one. You can just use a flathead screwdriver or two flathead screwdrivers to pry on this to kind of get it apart, but you might risk breaking it. So anyways, what you're going to want to do is take your snap ring pliers right here and just put the two like little indentions. Oh look, it's Guido. I recommend you guys subscribe if you aren't already. Anyways, take the two little indentions and put it in the two holes right there and squeeze, and the snap ring will come off, so I can show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so as you can see, I just went and took the snap ring off. It goes and fits kind of right in there in that little indention. It just goes and fits right there, and make sure when you go and put it back on, it fits in there, because if you don't, this clutch is just going to come apart and you're going to be screwed. But it just kind of fits in that little indention, and you just have to press to get it off. Make sure you probably should like wear safety glasses when you do this. I wasn't, but if you don't have a tight fit on it, it will come flying off and hit you in the eye. So I recommend putting like safety glasses on or something. But anyways, once your snap ring comes off, you can put that to the side, and then the whole clutch will just come apart just like this. So this is basically just the top part of the actual clutch, and then as you can see, this is the main shaft of the clutch, and depending on, I guess, the differences in your clutches, it's just going to be this part, the snap ring, the actual main clutch assembly, and then there's going to be a little itty bitty skinny little washer that goes and mates up right down there. Okay, so now what you're going to want to do is take your grease and just get a little bit on your finger and go and lubricate this whole shaft right there, this whole part right here, just all around the shaft. But do not get any on this clutch right here. If you do, your clutch is going to slip, and then you're basically going to need to buy a new one. So make sure you only get grease on the shaft right here, and then also kind of where this washer meets up. And then also to get inside, I recommend putting a little bit of grease inside there where it goes and mates up on the actual motor shaft right there. And then in here, I recommend doing the same, adding some grease right there in this area. Okay, so this is just multi-purpose grease. I recommend you use just normal multi-purpose grease or high temp grease. As long as it's kind of multi-purpose and can work for like motors and stuff, it should be pretty good. But as you can see, just get just a little bit on your finger like this, and then just go and just kind of evenly disperse it onto the actual clutch right here. Just evenly disperse it, and then also get some grease and put it inside here. And then also take your grease and put it inside the shaft right here. Okay, so as you can see, I have a decent amount of grease on the little shaft right here. The more grease you use, the better, but don't go overload with it. Just put a decent amount of coating on there, and then as you can see, the little kind of washer, spacer, whatever, it just goes and slides right over right here, and then goes and fits down right in place right there, and then as you can see, it's going to squeeze some of that grease, so make sure you go and wipe it off and then put it on the shaft again. Okay, so now I have the little spacer / washer all slid on. Now you just want to take your grease and just go and insert it down in there. Make sure there's a good thin coating on there, and then slide this back on. Okay, so now I have everything all on the clutch right here. So now you're going to take your snap ring and just simply slide it over, wipe the excess grease off, and also before you fully put the snap ring on, kind of shake the clutch a little bit and make sure the snap ring fits inside that shaft, because like I said, if it doesn't, you're going to be riding down the road and this stuff is just going to fall apart. Okay, so as you can kind of see, I went and put the snap ring back on, and everything is all seated in place. I recommend you kind of use like little needle nose pliers and just gently tap around there just to make sure it's fully seated on there and all good. So now the last thing I'm going to go ahead and do is just put a little bit of grease in that shaft area, and then you're good to go and install it. Okay, so I went and put some lube on the shaft. Make sure you use a decent, generous amount since it's metal on metal. And then I also went and put some lube in there. And then also, once you go and put everything together, if there's any like excess, make sure you wipe it off, just because this is just going to go and collect dirt if you're riding out in the desert. So yeah, make sure you just go ahead and wipe everything off. And then I'm not sure if you guys can really see, but there's a little notch in there that has to go into that notch. And I know some clutches will come with like extra notches and stuff that you can go and put on, but others don't, so you kind of just have to go and twist it, feel around for like where the notch is at, and then once it kind of slides on, then that's where you'll slide it on. And then also, once the clutch is on, you might have little Allen screws right there that you'll have to go and tighten up against the shaft so everything's on there all good. Okay, so the clutch is on. Now what you're going to do is take your little Allen key right here and go and tighten up the little Allen bolts that are on here so it locks it onto the shaft. And then you're going to put your little bolt with your washer on to make sure the clutch doesn't back out. Anyways guys, I hope this helps some people. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and make sure you guys subscribe and like for new future videos that are going to be coming out. But like I said in the beginning, if you're having any clutch problems, if you're hitting the gas and the mini bike isn't wanting to go, and it's kind of wanting to die, or if it's making like kind of like a little bell ringing noise, more often than not it's because you need to lubricate your clutch, because like I said in the beginning, when you buy a stock mini bike or just buy an aftermarket clutch, as you can see, this is a brand new clutch since the other one burnt up. It had no oil or no grease on it at all, so make sure you guys go and lube them so it's nice and smooth and free, just like this is. So yeah, because that's what will completely burn up your clutch right away. And also, like I said, if you're hearing like a bell noise, if it's wanting to stall out, or if you're just hitting the gas and it's not going and it's kind of just slipping or something, or if there's any problems with your clutch, you might just need a new clutch, or you might have to go and lube it. So make sure you guys check out that, because it might be both of those problems. But like I said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope this helped people out. Peace.